Former House Speaker Fanatic Kofa says the rule of law is fast deteriorating under the United Party-led government, warning that the administration is showing signs of dictatorial tendencies. Speaking Sunday in an interview, Kofa argued that a close examination of the Unity Party's governance approach reveals a persistent one-party mentality rooted in Liberia's political past. He traced the party's political line to what he described as leftovers of the two-week party era, the long ruling party that dominated Liberian politics before the 1980 coup. Kufa accused the administration of weakening Liberia's democratic institutions by dismantling tenure protections and interfering with the independence of the legislature. The former speaker revealed that the Unity Party is more focused on holding on to power than serving the Liberian people, stressing that it instead of building trust through the development of people-centered programs, the government has chosen a different path, using power simply for control. It has the removal of several officials from tenure positions, including the recent dismissal of the head of the National Fisheries and Aquacultural Authority, which he described as unlawful. The Ministry of Children and Social Protection has released its calendar of events for this year's commemoration of the 16 days of activism against sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia. Deputy Gender Minister Laura Gulake said Liberia continues to grapple with significant challenges in addressing all forms of violence against women and girls. She announced that activities will begin on Tuesday with a parade involving various women's groups, followed by a national gender based violence conference at the ministerial complex in Congo Town. Speaking during a weekend press conference in Congo Town, Minister Gulake explained that over the next 16 days, the ministry and its partners will roll out a series of initiatives aimed at combating SGBV nationwide. According to how the 16 days of activism campaign seeks to raise awareness, inspire action, and mobilize stakeholders to end violence in all its forms. The political leader of the Liberty Party, Senator Nyombri Kanga Lawrence, has urged the partisans to take greater ownership of the party by committing to the regular payment of their dues, noting that their doing so will enable them to fully participate in key decision-making processes. Senator Kanga Lawrence said the continued reluctance of members to pay their dues undermines the party's progress and its quest to reclaim its rightful place in Liberia's political landscape. She made the remarks over the weekend at the induction ceremony of coordinators and other leadership structures across 14 of Mosovado County's 17 districts. Also speaking at the event, the National Vice Chairman for Political Affairs, Senator Darius Dillon, called on the newly inducted coordinators and district leaders to demonstrate exemplary behavior and intensify efforts to recruit new members ahead of the 2029 presidential and legislative elections. According to Senator Dillon, expanding the party's membership base will help create a stronger foundation for national leadership and effective governance. A group of land sellers in Carisburg, led by Prince Williams, accused the mayor of Carisburg City, Edwin Uwe, of violating their rights by allegedly using state police officers as personal security to intimidate them during land-related disputes. According to the group, Mayor Uwe's alleged involvement in land dealings and creates a conflict of interest that undermines the fairness expected of a city authority, accused him of exploiting the influence of his position to forcibly restrict their access to land and they claim legally belongs to them. They maintained that UA's involvement in land transactions compromises the integrity expected of a city leader and raises serious concerns about conflict of interest, thus warning that they may resort to more radical measures if the alleged intimidation persists. In response to the accusation, Mayor Edwin Uwe strongly dismissed the claims, calling them false and misleading. Speaking to journalist business mayor, US said the individual making the allegations are not legitimate landowners in Carisburg and have no legal claim to the properties in question. According to him, the group has been involved in what he described as the constant hijacking of people's land, selling properties that do not belong to them to unsuspecting buyers, an issue the vow his office would divisively address, thus emphasizing that no intruder or unauthorized person will be allowed to sell land belonging to modified residents without their knowledge or involvement. To, res- to restore order and prevent fraudulent land transaction, Mayor Yue called on all residents, including land administrators, to restrict their lease and supporting ownership documents to the office of the mayor for verification before conducting any sale in the city. Margibi County Senator Nathaniel McGill has accused the Unity Party-led government of corruption, mismanagement, and using state power to intimidate opposition figures. Speaking over the weekend during the groundbreaking ceremony for the Congress for Democratic Change at Margibi County headquarters, Senator McGill argued that despite claims from government officials about combating corruption, Liberians continue to suffer from economic hardship. The senator accused the current administration of misusing the national budget, noting that despite generating 1.2 billion US dollars in revenue, ordinary Liberians have seen no significant change in their daily lives. McGill criticized the government for what he described as questionable oil block negotiations involving a foreign investor. Meanwhile, Senator McGill challenged the Unity Party to prove its popularity by submitting itself to an election within 90 days. According to McGill, if the Unity Party is confident in its performance and believes it has delivered in its 2 years of leadership, it should have no hesitation about returning to the ballot box. Bon County Senator Prince Amoy has commended the Liberian government for what he describes as an exceptionally high execution rate of the national budget, stressing that appropriating funds is only meaningful when those funds return to serve their intended purpose. Senator Moy made the remarks during the dedication of a new staff bus for the CB Doma Maternity Hospital in Banga, where he emphasized that the WIA administration struggled in the past with execution, but the current government has shown marked improvement in ensuring budgeted resources reach institutions on time. Reflecting on his 13 years on the Ways, Means and Finance Committee, where he once served as chair, Moy noted that Liberia's current budget execution rate is so high that institutions no longer need to chase external donors to perform essential functions. The Senator cautioned public administrators to follow the proper financial procedures to ensure their institutions receive the funds owed to them. Senator Moy expressed their gratitude to the administration and staff of CB Doma Maternity Hospital for their diligence in ensuring that budgeted funds were properly assessed and applied as intended. The senator noted that the hospital's ability to possibly utilize its allotment serves as a strong motivation for legislators to increase support and deepen partnership with the CB, Dunbar, and other institutions across Bon County. And away from all 50 of the 315 children kidnapped by gunmen from a Catholic school in Nigeria's Niger States on a Friday have escaped. The Christian Association of Nigeria says they have been reunited with their families. A major military-led search and rescue operation is on the way for the remaining 265 children and 12 of the children who were taken with them. Authorities in several Nigerian states held the schools to shut following a mass abduction in Niger and another smaller hostage taken in Kibi State on a Monday when 20 pupils were kidnapped from a boarding school. In response to a spate of abductions, Nigerian President Bola Tinubu ordered the recruitment of an additional 30,000 police officers Blaze News.
Thanks to Stephen Taludet for the news bulletin. It's a regular feature on News Point. 45 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. Stories to further on today's presentation of the program. President Joseph Boakai announces government plans to review all concession agreements in the country, an effort aimed to ensure the Liberians benefits from the nation's wealth. Former House Speaker Funanti Kofa says the rule of law is fast deteriorating on the Unity Party led government reveals that the administration is more focused on holding on to power than serving the Liberian people. Ministry of Gender, Children, Social Protection releases calendar of events for this year's commemoration of the 16 days of activism against sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia. 50 of the 315 children kidnapped by gunmen from a Catholic school in Nigeria's Niger State on Friday have escaped, according to the BBC. Still ahead, the voices of our newsmakers post or package on today's presentation of the program go strictly into our development. President Joseph Boakai has announced his government plans to thoroughly review all concession agreements in the country to ensure that Liberians fully benefit from the nation's wealth. Speaking at the close of the National Assembly of Chiefs and Tribal Governors in Bangabong County, President Boakai described Liberia as one of the most blessed countries in the world and emphasized that its resources must serve the nation rather than being exploited by outsiders. President Boakai cautioned that any attempt to abruptly cancel existing agreements could harm Liberia's credibility and lead to legal challenges, stressing that a careful review and proper management of national resources could address many of the country's development needs.
Country. We thank God we stay one of the most blessed countries in the world. We have our resources and we're not going to allow people to just come and take our resources and move it. We have to put a check to that. We are planning to do that. We are planning first to review all of the agreement because you see, like in our traditional, when you have government and they make agreement, you can't just come and cancel them because first you will lose credibility and the second thing they can take you to court. And so we are going to do that to review what we inherited and to begin to plan the resource of this country can take care of us. They can do the things that you're asking for if we manage them properly. And that's what we have planned to do. So I want to thank you for adding your voice because the first time you didn't used to say anything. You said, well, that the people, that all of us. And so I want to thank you for adding your voice and adding your voice. For me personally, even my children are growing up. They don't know how to insult anybody. But this recklessness on the radio, the people who don't have the respect from home, they don't know how to give it to people. You may not have it, but other people need it. You don't hear our traditional people insulting each other, but they think that's the way of life. And I like for people to decide what they want for their country. And I like because if you jump and do something, the international people, they are concerned about their countries to be decent. We are concerned about our country to be. So listening to you, we want to bring dignity to our country, just like you have said, so that people can come to this country and they know that we are people of culture. That we are people who need to be respected. You can't go on the radio abusing women, disrespecting them, and even
That's the voice of President Joseph Boakai there announcing government plans to thoroughly review all concession agreements in the country to ensure that Liberians fully benefits from the nation's wealth. Former House Speaker Funanti Kofa says the rule of law is fast deteriorating on the Unity Party led government, warning that the administration is showing rise of dictatorial tendencies. Speaking Sunday in an interview, Kofa argued that a closer examination of the Unity Party's governance approach reveals a a persistent one party mentality rooted in Liberia's political past. Kofi accused the administration of weakening Liberia's democratic institution by dismantling tenant tenure positions and interfering with the independence of the legislature.
So solidifying power, this is to get power for power's sake, to get power to control. Okay, a ruling party can consolidate power by its implementation of its development agenda. It can consolidate power by its mindset of being people-centered, of bringing benefits to the people. What we see here is an absolute mindset of power at all costs. And when they do that, that is when you see a strong police force, a more vicious police force, a more security-minded establishment that is bent on putting fear in the populace. That is what you see. Okay, they came with the idea that they were suspending tenure positions, people who were in tenure positions for some reason or another, some vulgar reasons. They went to the Supreme Court and never really abide by decisions of the Supreme Court when it comes to the issue of tenure position. Recently we saw the Enfield debacle, where the head of Enfield was removed out of his tenure position at the whims and caprices of the executive. So if you want investors to come, you must respect the one thing to look at is you must respect your rules. You must respect the rule of law. When contracts are entered into, when there's dispute, the contracting parties expect that the dispute will be adjudicated fairly. When you do not respect your own rules, you do not respect your law, investors and the investment plan. I think when you gradually begin to look and dissect the DNA of the Unity Party, you will realize and understand why the rule of law is collapsing under the Unity Party government just within 2 years. This is an institution, right, that is an outgrowth of the True Party. Okay, it's one of the result of the remnants of the True Party after the Doe Revolution that came in to contest election. So they still have that mindset that to create a one-party state in a manner and form as their progenitors. And it is within that context, when you look at the entire maneuvering of the Unity Party within 2 years, it was in that context. Their focus was not on development. Their focus was not really on national issues. Their first focus was on the consolidation of power. They dismantled the tenure system. They went and dismantled the legislature. And I can say that because, don't use my words. Look at Speaker Coon. He has said it not once, not twice, but consistently, that we were not prepared to work with an opposition speaker. We were not prepared to look at the national issue or the state of our democracy. We wanted that power. It was for us. So the focus has been on power, consolidating.
The former speaker revealed that the Unity Party is more focused on holding on to position than serving the Liberian people, stressing that instead of building trust through development or people-centered programs, the government has chosen a different path, using power simply for control.
Power. This is to get power for power's sake, to get power to control. Okay, a ruling party can consolidate power by its implementation of its development agenda. It can consolidate power by its mindset of being people-centered, of bringing benefits to the people. What we see here is an absolute mindset of power at all costs. And when they do that, that is when you see a strong police force, a more vicious police force, a more security-minded establishment that is bent on putting fear in the populace. That is what you see. Okay, they came with the idea that they were suspending tenure positions, people who were in tenure positions for some reason or another, some vulgar reasons. They went to the Supreme Court and never really abide by decisions of the Supreme Court when it comes to the issue of tenure position. Recently we saw the Enfield debacle, where the head of Enfield was removed fairly. When you do
That's the voice Former House Speaker Funanti Kofa, they're saying the rule of law is fast deteriorating under the Unity Party-led government, reveals that the administration is more focused on holding onto power than serving the Liberian people. A group of land setters in Carisburg, led by Prince Willie, allegedly using state police officers as personal security to intimidate them during land related disputes. Willie accused him of exploiting the influence of his position to forcibly restrict their access to land that they claim legally belongs to them. According to him, Yuri's involvement in land transactions compromises the integrity expected of a city leader and raises serious concern about conflict of interest.
The city mayor that was appointed by His Excellency Joseph Yuma Bwaka in Kirisburg District, Eddie Ure, is continuing to torment with the native people in Kirisburg. We have got to Eddie now, along with the native, we are the indigenous people of the place. You cannot torment us or suppress us in any other way because we are here to inherit our parents' property. No matter why it's for Lofa, for Great Deal, for Nima, when you are like great, you got the right to acquire property anywhere, anytime to your extended family. But I think the city mayor job I was given to Edwin, he's malfunctioning. If I'm say this, because I will say what I regret, he's malfunctioning a position because as a city mayor, you got nothing to do with land issue. Your work in the district is to make sure the district is in a good condition and to see how you can get development in the district. But we are running the exit. We got every legitimate document that can sustain every claim that we say we got exit. Don't just land by mouth, by document. We have got all of the document. But Mr. You continue to suppress us within the district for no reason because Eddie Ray in question is also a land dealer. He said that administrator for another estate that he battled for, which is the Kabuya estate that we went to investigative survey before he brought our deed. I went to the court, the people had to trunk the deed also. We went to the court here and then they said to the Supreme Court. We also won in that case. We see Eddie Ray don't want to see some of us. Me and me breeze with it. Eddie Ray don't want to see me. We have did nothing to him. So we got a property in Carisburg. Now myself here, the administrator and my colleagues who all work there. Our family people call us who administer property. When people call us, first thing we ask for is a document. We peruse the document to all the followers and know that the document is very legit. Before you get to a counselor that will plead for the estate. We got a legal representative that control the estate in a sense, go to court, whatever matter. So if you feel you got claim more the property that we are controlling, you simply get in the court with your complaint, let the invader there, and see it will not appear. But anyway, you don't do that. It will always use the police to intimidate us. The past time, the RG had a meeting here, it learned the speaking case by getting too much, like a riot, coming on, people beating people, all of those stuff. So they needed a PSU team to be here. We have all agreed to it. We support the idea because we are not buying citizens. We don't take law into our hands. So we supported the idea. But the police that was saying here to the RG, they are being used now as LU private security because every day and night, LU got to people behind a TCC picker for Carisburg, move from place to place, from estate to estate.
Prince Willie is calling on the government of Liberia and police authorities to intervene, warning that they may resort to more radical measures if the alleged intimidation persists.
And also been in the thing for a very long time. So as a lawyer about season, like I said, we decide, we talk to our legal counselor, and we believe that we just felt it will be a short period of time, and you're doing it, but he continue to do it. It has become a continuous habit. You get me? So we decided to take the media today. Maybe when all states hold on a year, it will come to our aid because hearing for a job in Carisburg, I don't think why you're doing. The township got a land commission. Now that did that land commission, I really take it up for the corner and say, oh, I want to see him in the office. Never. But Eric continue to find function to over function a job that President Baga gave him. I can assure you, I'm saying this to the entire country or to the Baga. Edwin being appointed in case by the city mayor, he just doing it to maybe suppress us, but we are alive as a native people. I can tell you, I will stand by the native people. I will still go fight for our property. Nobody will defeat us. Anybody want to take it, want to take it the legal way. When it comes to the radical way, we'll go the radical way. But we're taking the legal way, we'll remain mute, we'll take the legal procedure to see the next step that will come in. If there is no in the court or there is no response to the problem getting to that, probably we have to come in with different radical approach. Like I said, when I had a meeting, all embrace the idea because the police keep for everybody, not for one person. But now when one person will be used to the police now to go against the rest of the people. There are not been any communication to the RG, but we believe we have been giving some complaint to some government officials within the police. People getting to know about it and then for them to say it. So we better call upon them. The function of the police that they say here, they are not going on by the function, but what they came here for, they are going beyond.
In response of the accusation, Mayor Edwin Uri strongly dismissed the claims, calling them false and misleading. Speaking to journalists recently, Mayor Uri said the individuals making the allegation are not legitimate landowners in Carisbrooke and have no legal claim to the properties in question.
As a mayor of the city, I have my functions. First of all, the individual that the proposed press conference. This city corporation, we don't recognize them, we don't know them. The estate owners in the city, in the middle of Carisbrooke, all those who own property in Carisbrooke, and people who are administering interstate property, their documents are recorded in the city corporation of Carisbrooke. No one person has the right to come in the city and claim that they own property and take bulldozer and go lay out streets and alley and sell land with all the consent of the city corporation. Road laying out squarely lies with the city zoning department in collaboration with Ministry of Public Work and the Liberal Land Authority. As the mayor, the city coordinates all activities relating to land ministers and agencies that performs within our city limits. So in so doing, anything relating to survey, digging of earth, transporting, mining, and all that kind of stuff has to be done by the consent and permits from the City Corporation of Carisbrooke. We have had several interviews with some of you journalists. We've been on this interview for a very long time. We have done radio announcement. We have called community meetings with community leadership, asking all property owners to declare their property to the City Corporation of Carisbrooke, which is required by law. It have in all other townships and cities. So those who we recognize that came here with their documents and we have it recorded, some of those documents was verified by the archive and authenticated by the LLA, and some of them got letter of administrations and degree of sales from the probate court, and some came to us to allow us to go and do our work when it comes to the zoning aspect in laying streets and alley. We are selling their land. We don't have no enforce their environmental order, they have police assigned with them. Even Pimsley City Corporation have police assigned with them when it comes to these things. So because we don't have police, we face problem in carrying on our duties. So we need assistance from the police.
Intimidate them doing Deputy Gender Minister Laura Gulake said Liberia continues to grapple with significant challenges in addressing all forms of violence against women and girls. According to her, the 16 days of activism campaign seeks to raise awareness, inspire action, and mobilize stakeholders to end violence in all its forms. To this development, Magdibi County Senator Nathaniel Mangill has accused the Unity Party-led government of corruption, mismanagement, and using state power to intimidate opposition figures. Speaking over the weekend during the groundbreaking ceremony, Senator McGill argued that despite claims from government officials about combating corruption, Liberians continue to suffer from economic hardship. The senator accused the current administration of misusing the national budget, noting that despite generating 1.2 billion in revenue, ordinary Liberians have seen no significant change in their daily lives.
Our colleague UP, let me say to you, focus on the Liberian are getting hard time. You say we are corrupt. You say we are corrupt. We answer. Okay, we corrupt. Tell what your salary you're making. How much money you're making? Tell. Now you can buy property. You can buy headquarters. Tell how much you're making. You get 1 billion to run a country, and no 7 salary increase, and you handing money in all the military agencies, and you think we don't know. We ran the country before, and we're running again. There is nothing you need to find out doing. You're doing national security. We understand national security. When you have money somewhere, we know you have it. All the time the government, we know them. And they know us. We know that they know us. The only thing you do, you try to intimidate citizens. You run it behind somebody, you say you want to send the person to court for something that you know the person did not do, but you're trying to use your political power to intimidate the person. And so let me agree with Senator Snow. When Senator Snow says, let's thank the government for raising 1.2 billion, I'm very excited. I hope we could raise more, the government could raise 1.5 billion. But what is it doing with that 1.2? How is it affecting the lives of the ordinary Liberian people? You get 1.2 billion, but nothing has changed. You are never increased the sort of 7 still the same. Now you're trying to get all blood to a Nigerian man. This Nigerian man never drew all before. He came here under your government, they gave me all black, he paid 600,000, but he walked away with 200 million. So the government I see me again, and they want to get all black elements to make and flip it again, walk away. Maybe few of them will get small money from that. Everybody feel like bread will suffer. That deal, that agreement is a buy agreement. I agree with the American. You know, I saying to my friend in the Senate, don't sell this country. Like bread people have given you an opportunity. It will make mistake in the power to be ready to corrupt. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over. Giving all black to the Nigerian man after easy. Maybe we will say we're not mistake because we know how to know. But now that we know what the man can do, why are we giving another?
Meanwhile, Senator McGill challenged the Unity Party to prove its popularity by submitting itself to an election within 90 days. According to McGill, if the Unity Party is confident in its performance and believes it has delivered in its 2 years of leadership, it should have no hesitation about returning to the ballot box.
If we love Liberia, that oil blind of bad deal. And all the senators and representatives who will vote for it, they will only be selling your country. That deal is bad. And so you know the party, if you want to do public crowd politics, forget about crowd politics, let's go to election. Let's go to election. 2023, I back now. I back ECC. 2029. 2017, I defeated United Party. So they may know what they are wearing. The days on Google Jumukuru, all kind of thing. They say, oh, the men are corrupt, man. They went and did all kind of thing. But they can't find corruption. The only thing they're looking for is a supplemental payroll. For God administration, I know all the people on supplemental payroll today. And more of my own, they got more supplemental payroll. Right now, I can tell you, they get $21 million in supplemental payroll. They get it to the military agency. They're hiding the money. And they want
Senator Kanga Lawrence said the continuing reluctance of members to pay their dues undermines the party's progress and its quest to reclaim its rightful place in Liberia's political landscape. She made the remarks over the weekend at the induction ceremony of coordinators and other leadership structures across 14 of Montserrat counties in 17th district.
For the party to succeed, we have to work through structure. We got to work through the system. That's why our priority, after we came back together, had a convention, put the leaders together, programs to be having. We say, let us restructure before we can start active work. We have restructured Grand Bassa County. We have restructured 14 districts in Montserrat County. We completed to 17. We went to Riverside. We went to Makibi. Then we go to the Peacock County. So I'm here to tell you that the structures that we inducted today, we're not going to do anything in your district if we don't work through you. I'm not going to coordinators, and I told them after your induction, and you have recruited members in your district, tell the party, say I'm ready for the program leaders to come up to my district, and I will come. I'm not just coming, I'm coming with program. Liberty Party, right now we have the largest scholarship program. Our young people must benefit. I'm coming to your district to strengthen the women. Go back to your district, put your women together. I'm coming there to strengthen the women. Right now, the women that were depending on the men, who's strong, while we're looking for a job, I'm coming to your district. When you go, you recruit the women and call me. When I come from there, the women will be alright. So all of our coordinators, we say we want to institutionalize our party because we want to say the party that Youngly Kanka Lawrence or the party that AP Tyrus Daniel or the party that Jacob Smith, the party that all of us, you have to take ownership. If you put something in the party, tomorrow you will have voice. You say I will say something to the political leader because I put something in the party. So all of us have to pay due. We get paid $111 every month for our party. We get paid $111 every month for our party.
Also speaking at the event, the National Vice Chairperson, that's the National Vice Chairman for Political Affairs, Senator Darius Dillon, called on the newly inducted coordinators and district leaders to demonstrate disciplinary behavior and intensify efforts to recruit new members ahead of the 2029 presidential and legislative elections.
Today, you agree to be inducted to go serve in your various district. When you go, some of you in your community, the crew will start asking you, so that what do you brought back? How are you who were inducted today and brought back in your district? The question that we can face every day, you will face the question. Say we letter, you will not see you here. Say we join the party that what you will not get. You will get no question. How you answer will determine how the party will go. You who, all of you coordinators and members of the party, and you can hear on the radio, other people can be talking about the political leader and the party then for 2029. You coordinator, if you behave, it means you can't recruit nobody to the party. Let the party and after will be different. The only way will be election in the country. When you have people to cook their food, they think they want to get you, they want to get you. When you cook their own food, you get determined what will go in your place. All of us around, and we see the other party then building here. I don't know building here for, but see that you see they're doing different activities in the various districts and the various political party headquarters. All they building momentum for 2029. And we can be one of them. What we do it? We will not do it if we don't do it together. We got to build this party so that this party can be on our table to win this election so your life can change too. If we win, we ever helping other people. Then when they win, they will have what you get from me. If we win, we can win. You can take state power and you can change this country. The vision of Charles Robert Boskin, he made our Moses. When you need Kanka Lori now being our Joshua, that vision will not die. And you tell your people, even though your translation will be a go for Liberty Party, let's be about the party and not personal feeling. It's not easy to run party, my people. Today, normally Kanka Lawrence is our Esther. For those of you who know the power, Esther will not make it if there is no Monica. The National Executive Committee and the coordinators, you, all of us.
That's the voice of the National Vice Chairman for Political Affairs, Senator Darius Dillon of the Liberty Party. They're calling on the newly inducted coordinators and district leaders to demonstrate disciplinary behavior and intensified efforts to recruit new members ahead of the 2029 presidential legislative elections. And they only listen to the political leader of the Liberty Party, Senator Nyomli Kanka Lawrence, urging partisans to take greater ownership of the party by committing to the regular payment of their dues, noting that doing so will enable them to fully participate in key decision-making processes. With that, we come to the end of today's edition of News Point. It has been a production of the News and Current Affairs Department here at Blaze Communications Network Incorporated. Before we go, a recap of the major stories. President Joseph Boakai announces government plans to review all concession agreements in the country, an effort aimed to ensure that Liberians benefit from the nation's wealth. Former House Speaker Funanti Kofa says the rule of law is fast deteriorating under the Unity Party-led government, reveals that the administration is more focused on holding on to position than serving the Liberian people. Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection releases calendar of events for this year's commemoration of the 16 days of activism against sexual and gender-based violence in Liberia. And away from home, 15 of the 15 of the 315 children kidnapped by gunmen from Catholic school in Niger State on Friday have escaped, according to the BBC. Thanks to all of you for your listening role. Many thanks to Stephen Talu, who was here with the news bulletin. Clifton Rennie sat at control and handled the technical aspect of the program. For the entire production team at Blaze Communications Network Incorporated, Oliver McIntosh, I present. Good morning. Bye bye.